Hi, I'm Ifra Ahmed, Somalian activist based in Ireland. We are delighted to have today President of Somalia, SHEQ Mahmoud. Assalamu alaikum, Madam MADAXWEYNE.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us today here. It's a very big time opportunity for us to interview with some questions of women's situation in Somalia. My first question, a number of Somalis like me want to help the creation of stable Somalia. What can the women diaspora do to support development of the country? And how can they retain knowing that themselves are not safe?
Well, the Somali woman in the diaspora has been playing a very great role in sustaining the livelihoods of Somalia. It was mainly the women diaspora in Somalia who have been supporting their families back at home. So the diaspora in general, particularly the women, was the fallback for Somali livelihoods in the most difficult times. In returning to Somalia right now, there are a lot of women, a lot of diaspora in general, women who came back to Somalia, supporting the women and children in Somalia, supporting the women to have a livelihood, since in recent times, Somali women has been the breadwinners of the ordinary Somali families. So there is a lot of work that diaspora women is doing in Somalia, and there is a lot of opportunity for them to assist their brethren. So we absolutely appreciate their role. Regarding the safety, Somali women is a part of the Somali community. Of course, they will have their part, the problems that the community as a whole is facing right now, and the security issue is a very serious challenge. This security issue comprises the violence against women who has been there in recent Somali history. But as of my government, we have very clear stand on that issue, improving the rights of the Somali women. This, of course, has something to do with the culture and the traditions of the society, which requires a lot of time to change. But the government has a very clear policy on the issue of the violence against women, on the issue of rape, and we have been undertaking tremendous progress in those areas. Yes, the problem does not disappear overnight, but there is a lot of activities that the Somali government has taken to institutionalize the rights of women within the state building program of Somalia. So women is a cross-cutting issue for all state building issues in Somalia.
What programs and policy are the government developing to empower girls and create gender equality?
Legally, women and men has always been equal in front of the law in Somalia since the independence. But there are cultural challenges which requires awareness raising and empowering the society to get rid of this backward or stigmatized cultural issues on the women. In that regard, in 21st century, the Somali women, and being a major portion of the Somali women outside, exposed to the modern way of life, modern way of establishment in the West. Now the whole thing is changing inside Somalia. Women went back to Somalia, raised the awareness of the women, told them their rights. Now, so the whole dynamics of the women's situation in Somalia is changing. But we do not deny that there are challenges in place. Poverty is one of them. Lack of security is another one. Lack of employment and livelihood, weak livelihood is another. So these are some of the challenges. The issue of genital mutilation, it is against the modern way of life in the world. It's against the Islamic religion. So there is a lot of people who are engaged in raising the awareness of the society. And in most of the metropolitan cities in Somalia, or metropolitan life, that FGM is now has been addressed in a considerable level. But in the rural area, still it's there. And it's a matter of time when we see that FGM has been completely eradicated in Somalia. And the federal government is now thinking to introduce a legal framework that supports the elimination or the eradication of FGM in Somalia.
There have been few reports and cases recently showing that rape and sexual violence is endemic in Somalia and Mogadishu. According to UN report, over 70% of 170 cases has been taking place in Mogadishu in 2012 were carried out by men wearing government uniforms. What is the government doing to investigate cases of sexual violence, takes its security sectors by others?
This is an issue of lack of enforcement of the rule of law, and that's why we made priorities on the security sector and the justice system. We make top priority of our government. The issue of statistics is always questionable. Recently, the government has established a permanent committee that investigates the rape cases. We are establishing a special unit within the police force, which are mainly special for the rape only, whereby mainly these special forces, a major portion of these special forces are women. We are establishing clinics for with the appropriate rape kits that accommodates women who experience this rape. And in the meantime, the Somali government in the year 2013 has conducted more than 15 cases which are very serious and has been convicted. Number of them long-term sentences, number of them capital punishment, never been released. But the problem is that there are some entities or people who commercializes the problem. There is a problem. We do not deny that the sexual violence in Somalia is there. There is a rape which is very, very serious, and the government's policy is zero tolerance for rape, women rape, and we publicly say it, and it's there. But the problem we're having is only the issue of capacity. It's not the issue of legal, it's not the issue of willingness, it's the issue of capacity. And right now, our capacity is improving. That's the indications are the establishment of these institutions for following up the rape cases. And we are expecting that soon these cases will dramatically be reduced.
But Mr. President, recently there have been allegations of rape committed by a member of African Union peacekeeping mission in Somalia. How can we account for such a violation? And what are the funding for the committee?
One thing I would like to say is, first of all, the Somali government has made its own investigation, which soon the reports and the results of this investigation will be published. And the African Union, they have also their own investigation process. And anybody else, the United Nations, everybody, it's open. They can come and investigate. And Somali government will share with the international partners the information that we have. So that's the role we are playing. For the recent case of the involvement of the African Union, the Prime Minister have established an investigation committee comprising different government entities, including Somali civil society, and the human rights activists in Somalia are also part of the investigative committee, and the results will soon be published. So we will only respond and take further actions based on what we have.
I have been working with the police authority in Europe to deal with cases of FGM, female genital mutilation, and I can see the benefit of the trained police in protection of women. What particular plans that the government have in terms of addressing problems of sexual violence?
As I said, look, what I said is that we are doing at our level best. We didn't get any support from the outside world in addressing those challenges. What we are getting from the outside world is only criticism and finger pointing. There is no one single international partner who come forward to support the capacity building of the people or those police and justice system who are involved with these issues. So far, there is no one. It's only the meager resources we have, the limited capacity we have, we're doing at our best. And we are expecting that soon we will be getting support from the outside world. That's why we are very much hopeful and that this sexual violence against women will be dramatically reduced in the near future, and in the midterm it will be eliminated totally.
What do you have planned for training judiciary, police and medical service in terms of meeting for the New Deal tomorrow for the Brussels and Somali conference?
Overall, there is a capacity building of the justice system. There is a capacity building of the police that has been given by the international community. But the issue of having special units for investigating the rape in terms of medical term, in terms of police, in terms of justice. These are specified, and we also establishing special clinic for rape victims is also a very important. So these are the issues that I'm talking. Other than that, the international community has been supporting the Somali police or the justice forces for some time now, but that's not enough.
What does the government expect in terms of support from EU? And return, what commitment the government are offering to the international community and particularly diaspora?
Two important issues are there. One is women benefit the development of Somalia. If there is a development in terms of service delivery, in terms of security, in terms of access to the justice, all these have a component that benefits for the women. And then that's one part. The other part is the special programs for the women. The one I was talking now, the issue of rape. The one I'm talking about, women education, women empowerment, the microfinancing of women projects. These are special programs within the overall development and recovery program of Somalia. So women will benefit out of this. I cannot tell you right now the percentage of money or the percentage of that the women will get, but within this framework, women is a priority for in the terms of recovery and the development of Somalia.